Another night watching robots as they roam across Pretoria.
Pizzeria, Donald. Pizzeria. Where on earth is Pretoria?
That is South Africa, Biden. Do you even know anywhere else beyond the United States of America and maybe wherever war springs out?
Two things are happening right now. First, Obama has finally found his voice after I put him in this place last night. Secondly, how ironic is it that Obama Rama is accusing Joe Biden of being a war promoter?
Very iconic, ha 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 ha. Obama, who cannot live a completely free life because he still answers to the FBI for the damage he wreaked in the Middle East.
The whole world already knows thanks to your leaking and ever loquacious mouth. So, can we at least hear what the phone man has to say tonight?
But really, do we have to deal with this guy's croaky voice every night? Man, it sounds like he is under a spell or something. And for this second part, his calls have been unusually longer than they used to be.
Tonight is surely tougher than last night. I am pretty sure Bushy knows this already and is adequately prepared.
I think I need to make this very clear. I am not Joe Biden, so I wouldn't pretend to be all-knowing. 5 Nights at Freddy's is a game just like everything else. You either win or lose, regardless of your knowledge of the game. More importantly, I only know the lore of the game to a considerable extent, not as if I have played this game all my life.
So what are you driving at, Bushy Wushy?
My point is straightforward. Lower your expectations. It is a game, and I can also lose. I mean, I literally just won my first night ever. So, yeah, I hope you get the point.
You know, basically, this goes in two ways. I can either thrash talk Bushy for being a coward and riding on beginner's luck, or I can go the other way against Biden. I would choose to show how gullible that cocaine addict is.
How did I suddenly come into the mix again this time?
Do you see how noble Bush sounded? He didn't make himself an emergency lecturer for a game he is a relatively newbie at.
Well, Donald, while I understand your point, I don't think Joe Biden is exactly guilty. We suggested that he teach us the game, not that he imposed himself on us, remember?
I'm glad you chose to speak the truth and have my back, Baraki. Grumpy Trump is certainly becoming unbearable. Should you call and I refuse to come on board, then trust me, it is because I have had enough of the smelly nitwit.
Who has noticed how poorly fed these animatronics look this time around?
Poorly fed, robots cannot eat, so I think your choice of words is inappropriate or something.
But you understand what I am saying, right? Don't be an intentional moron, Obama Rama.
I think they were simply redesigned to fit the lore of the game. Each robot now has withered or something of that nature behind their names. Something around withered Bonnie, withered Chica, and so on. Bush, that's correct, yeah?
I think you are mixing it up, Joe Biden. They have the suffix toys and not withered. And yes, they are much different from the animatronics we faced in the first part. Those ones have been dismantled and sent to the service room to be used, maybe later in the game. We really can't say what the developers are up to.
But can someone explain why we have to wear that mask that looks like Freddy's head? I mean, I had to wear it last night too while I was playing. I see you have worn it a few times tonight too, Bushy.
You took that right out of my mouth. I was about to ask too, but I wasn't exactly sure which of the mascots' head that was. To be honest, I wanted to say Bonnie.
Maybe because you are having a boner watching the animatronics roam around the pizzeria.
How does that even relate to what we are currently saying? How?
Swear with your big decomposing ass that you are not having a boner at the moment.
Kids watch this channel too, Biden. You can wait until we play Lewdly to use those slur remarks, I promise you. It is not too far from now. We have just 5 nights left on part 2 and about 2 more parts, if I am not mistaken.
Can we forget about Sleeping Joe for a minute and not lose the answer to the question?
We definitely cannot push Joe's knowledge aside. He just has to be in the picture. So, Joe, why are we wearing Freddy's head?
In part 1 of the game, we are doomed whenever any of the animatronics find their way into the office. Yeah, right. But now we have a bit of leverage with this head. These robots are like Donald. They do not have a complete brain. So technically, whenever they find a way to enter into this place, the player can wear Freddy's head to fool the animatronics and prevent it from attacking. That's all I think there is to the mask. It is just a leverage.
Thank you for clarifying, Biden, but I strongly believe you can make the message very clear without having to take Donald to the cleaners. That was very unnecessary.
I agree, it was not necessary one bit.
Yeah, get off that high horse of yours, you walking corpse of a man.
Everything is fair in love and war. You should know this, Donnie.
Jeez, is anyone at war here?
Exactly, that's what you get for pretending to be the expert. You're back to beginner's luck.
The magic has faded, and now you are leaving the honors to me again?
Bush literally gave a disclaimer. Don't be intentionally stupid, Obama. We understand you are pained not to have known as much as Bush does, but you need to admit that he has put immense effort into getting to this stage. And actually, I will go next, remember?
True, man was literally fidgeting throughout the first round, and now he has turned it around for himself.
Truly, I am less scared now, but there are certainly more strategies to learn about this game. It makes you look like a dull dummy.
That may be too soon to conclude. We have just had 2 players so far, Bush and me. Joe is just starting too, so let's see how far he will go.
Thank you for gassing me up, Obama.
Don't make it appear like the rest of us are unintelligent. At least we are getting better and better.
Well, Obama got worse.
Keep up with it until you lose your next night, and we can confirm that you too are a fluke. By the way, why is this phone man talking again?
This is another testament that our conspiracy theory about this game following a pattern is entirely wrong. The call wasn't repeated when Obama lost the first night and Bush took over. Now we have a repeat call with the programmed voice literally saying the same thing.
Maybe it figured that we didn't pay more attention to him when Bush was playing earlier, so he also wants a bit of attention to be sure we heard him correctly.
I don't really want to know whatever he has to say. It's not like he is sharing some strategies or anything about that.
I don't know if anyone has noticed, but about 2 more animatronics are out tonight.
So we have a total of at least 6 robots to keep watch over and prevent from entering the pizzeria. How are we supposed to survive?
On the contrary, I think it is relatively easy once we know what we're up against. So far since 12 a.m., I have focused primarily on Prize Corner. Also, the flashlights are very important. It keeps the animatronics away for a minute.
At this point, I think Joe Biden and Bush are doing just too much. We had just Biden to deal with before, and now Bush has joined him.
I thought you were supporting Bushy Wushy just last night. What has happened?
Shush, guys, be quiet.
Perfect. Now there's a blue toy trying to tear our head apart.
I think he's gone now, so what were you saying?
I think knowing and understanding the lore of the game is sacrosanct to winning and having a great gaming experience.
You guys have gotten really high. 2 old men so keen with the scary kids game.
You just need to learn the game more. Same for you, Trump.
Why would I want to learn what would keep me off my bed at night? Has any of you actually imagined what Freddy or Foxy would look like in your dream? I bet it is worse than Biden's rotting face.
That is for people who see me in their dreams, so I care less. I mean, why would you want to stress me in your dream after all the burden I carry on my shoulders as the President of the United States during the day?
Ha 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 ha. Good one. Biden has a point, a valid one at that.
Undoubtedly, the energy ratings in this game have improved much, but the little left at just 4 a.m. isn't encouraging, Biden. Did you do something that exhausted the power?
I have everything under control. I know the next 2 hours are very critical, so how about you let me focus on the game?
Remember what focusing on the game cost Obama? Let's see how it ends for you too.
That is why we are very different, Grumpy Trump. Emphasis on the very least.
I mean, no harm. I was just trying to make you see reasons not to say you want to focus on the game. I am 100% sure these animatronics can hear us.
Humpty Dumpty, these robots cannot hear shit. Moreover, the only reason I need and know is to help us all stay alive until 6 a.m. And I have about an hour and a half to do that.
How about we spice things up a little bit like we did with Wordle while we still played it very consistently?
What are you suggesting, Obama?
Maybe we introduce incentives or penalties for winners and losers. I mean, you still remember how exciting it was for the viewers back then, yeah?
I bet Joe Biden cannot remember shit. His dementia has grown worse than we can ever imagine. The old man is just waiting patiently for death to snatch him away.
Let's not lose the focus and focus on some irrelevant talks from a bottle donkey. It's almost 6 a.m., which means we would round off soon.
So, what are we saying, a penalty or a reward?
I think penalties would be better. It would help us play the game better and more seriously.
I share the same bias with Bushy Wushy. We need just one more vote and we have it.
How about we leave the viewers to decide for us, you inconsiderate morons? You make it look like it is all about you, when in reality they are the reason we jump on a call every day playing games, both the ones we all enjoy and those we hate like shit, just like this one.
You may be right, but I now enjoy 5 Nights at Freddy's, so I really do not know what you are talking about.
In that case, guys, what do you suggest? A penalty or a reward? We'll be reading the comments to know which team gets the highest votes.
Now we are turning the comments into a fucking polling center. I hope Biden doesn't influence the results anyway.
Gentlemen, we have now safely gotten to our 6 a.m. destination and saved the pizzeria from an animatronic attack.
It's Pretoria.
Pizzeria, you dung-eating, unrepentant nincompoop.
What is that scream?
Easy, buddies. See you tomorrow at midnight.
Subscribe, guys, or I will jump scare you in your dreams.